What's up, nerds and nerdettes? This is the podcast where everyone knows your name. Cheers to ya! And we are coming at you from the Fortress of Nerditude with yours truly, the registered nerd practitioner, the founder of Nerdledge himself, that'd be me, the Mac. And, of course, joining me is the juicy one, the Nerdtorious JLD, the PhD of Nerdology, Dr. Davis himself. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? I'm not there. I am in Europe. But I had to send you this. I had to do the intro because it just felt right. I kind of have a surprise waiting for Josh on the other end of this intro. And I don't know if he's going to like it, but I brought in the ringer. I brought in the lefty, the old tag team partner, to be his co-host for this week. And I think you're going to enjoy it. Cheers to you, nerds.
Yes, welcome to 30 and Nerdy. And, you know, I cannot believe that I'm saying this. That we are starting out an episode of this show, my show that I'm so proud of, with me sitting across from the villain himself, the heel, Captain Complaint. That's right. It's my dear friend Logan Roach. Papa Roach, welcome to the show.
Hey, man. It's good to be here. The dressing rooms in the Fortress is, it's not as big as I'm used to, but, it's nice. It's not bad.
Well, I mean, we rolled out the red carpet for you, though.
Yeah.
So I guess I got to step it up a little bit. Well, I guess I should go ahead and say cheers to you.
Hey, cheers to you, bro.
Welcome to the show, finally.
Yes,
and,
finally.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of teasing back and forth throughout this episode, but I'm really glad that you're here.
I don't know what you're talking about on that point, but, I'm fine. You're great. You're great. Yeah, hands down.
I miss Tyler. So welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm actually very excited about this episode because Logan and I are going to talk about something that both of us are very, very, very interested in, very excited about. Most of the time during the day when we're talking or sending pictures to one another, it's related to this topic, and that is, what is it, Logan?
It's the Funko Pops.
Funko Pops. You've seen them before, even if you are not a collector or really a fan of Pops and things like that. You've definitely seen these things before, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, you can't go into a Target, Walmart, Barnes & Noble, like Michael's.
FYE.
Yeah, just everything. Hot Topic.
Right.
Like, they're everywhere.
So if you know a lot about it, a lot of the information that we share in this, you're going to already know. But we're also going to talk about our own personal collections, share some news about the most valuable, most sought-after Pops that there are. They might surprise you. Quite a list there. And just some stories about ourselves, how we are hunting for Pops all the time and things like that, and how we've amassed these collections that we have, right?
Yes.
So,
or, like you say, the college fund for the children's.
It's okay. What she doesn't know won't hurt her. So, with that, I think it's time to take a short break. Thanks. Logan, I was so excited to see you because when I got here and saw you for the first time, you're wearing a 30 and Nerdy t-shirt.
Oh, yeah. I'm proud of it, man.
Yeah. How does it feel?
It feels nice. It feels comforting. It feels warm. And, we had a pop hunt that we're going to talk about. And I had a few eyes. Even, while waiting, somebody was asking, 30 and Nerdy, I just read your shirt. So
nice.
It's an opener.
Hey, you're right. And I like that you said warm and comforting because that's kind of like us here on the podcast. But, these shirts came from our friend Zach at Advertising Expressions. We had a few things done up for you and your family and sent them down here. And you got them in the mail, yesterday, day before?
Yeah, right before you come down. Wasn't expecting anything at all. And I think we even talked about it. I was like, man, those shirts and hats and everything, I need some of that because That's cool merch.
That's right. So we had these things done at Advertising Expressions. Our friend Zach, he does a great job, and you can reach him at 423-586-3270. You can visit his website at www.advertisingexpressions.com, and you can order some customized attire for yourself, for your school, your church, whatever you want. He can do anything for you, and you tell him 30 and Nerdy sent you, he'll get you taken care of.
Thank you, guys. Your nerd word for the week is nerdology. And that's roughly the study of all things in the nerd culture. For instance, our very own Josh here on the podcast has his PhD in nerdology.
Thanks, Tyler. Even from out of the country and across the ocean, you still got to try to steal the spotlight, but, that's okay. I'm just kidding.
He might sometimes, a little bit.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
But anyway, we discuss a lot of nerdology on this show and every day in our personal lives, yeah?
Yeah. I didn't get my degree. I was, a couple years away from that, but I'm still learning.
It's okay, and you have me, so who better to learn from?
Who better?
Nobody better. That's who. So, Logan, how are you?
Man, I'm great. I'm glad I finally got to come on the podcast. I was
super exciting.
Not gonna lie, been a little jealous. I haven't been able to come on every week, but I understand. Distance makes that a little difficult. But I'm super excited to be on today.
Just look at it this way: absence makes the heart grow fonder.
That's I think half my charm. I just I'm away for a long time. Come into people's hearts. They love me. And then I leave.
Yeah, not long enough though. We'll say that.
Need some more bags.
Right.
Need But it's been good, man. As you guys know, not all our Nerd Nation out here, but I have 2 kiddos. I am married as well, so that's pretty much that's how I'm doing, man. It's
enough said, right?
Yeah. That's how I'm doing. I'm a dad of 2, and they're both under 3. So it's a challenge sometimes, to say the least.
Yeah, but it's fun too.
Oh yeah, 100% amazing. And I do the food truck down here in Atlanta, so that's pretty much it. Work and play at home.
That's
it. Yeah, it's good.
The dream.
The dream, man. Really the dream. And how are you, my friend?
Man, I'm doing really well. It's been great to see you and spend some time with the family here in Atlanta. Yesterday, I went to Comic-Con in Knoxville, Fanboy Expo.
How'd that go?
It was great. I got there pretty late in the day and was taking my sweet time walking around. I got through about half of the convention and realized that they closed in like 45 minutes. And so then I had to get a move on to get the things done that I needed to get done. So I got to share a little something about my experience at the Comic-Con.
Ooh, please do.
We all know and love our friend Tyler.
Oh, very much so.
I almost hate to tell this story when he's not here to defend himself, but
no, this is the time.
Okay. He gives me such a hard time about Disney and Mickey Mouse and how much I love Mickey Mouse, and he's like, "Oh, you're brainwashed by a mouse." Well, I'll have you know.
Ooh.
The guy who does the voice of Mickey Mouse, okay, was at this convention, right?
Ooh, man.
And Tyler knows about this. And he says to me, Josh,
what does he say?
I'm going to be out of town during the convention. Mm-hmm. Can you take my Keyblade and have Mickey Mouse sign it?
Oh, dun, dun, dun.
It's true, my friend.
Oh, my
it's
goodness.
true. And I said, yes, I'll gladly do that.
Gladly.
And so I carried Tyler's Keyblade around the convention, and lots of people were very complimentary of it, and it's pretty cool. And I took it up to Mickey Mouse. I'm sorry, I've forgotten what his real name is. Brett, I think. And he was pretty friendly and everything. And not only did Tyler ask for this guy's autograph, Mickey Mouse, but he even asked for a special quote, a Mickey quote. Even in the darkest of darkness, there is always a light. Your pals, Brett and King Mickey.
Ooh. The plot twist.
So how about that, folks?
You know,
and he's going to have some excuse. I never said I didn't like Mickey Mouse. I never said I hated it.
Well, you know, it's in some ways, in growing up in your childhood, you always have a soft spot for that magic, for that dream. And, you know, maybe just we'll let it slide a little bit because it is Mickey. So,
well, yeah, but maybe he shouldn't give me such a hard time about it. That's my point. Am I wrong?
You know, it's...
Do we need to go to, the special court about this sometime?
Oh, did? Well, maybe. Well, I like the first one. People liked it. We might need another battle. But I was expecting a little Marvel DC next. That's what I'm hoping for.
You never know, my friend. You never know.
Possible spoiler.
With that, I think it's time to move on to a segment we like to call What You Watching. Didn't that feel good?
It did.
You did a good job.
I tried. I was like, you gotta say it together. I'm there.
You are
Okay,
in
I'm
like
learning.
Flynn, baby.
Oh yeah.
So we have both finished season 3 of Stranger Things.
So good, man. And
so very good.
honestly, I was a late bloomer, so I didn't watch 1 or 2.
That's right.
And it was my wife, she watched it, burned them down. So I caught like the 3rd or 4th episode at first.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, I don't want to like start behind. And it's been years. And I finally watched it and it's great. Burned down 1st, 2nd, and then 3rd right when it come out on July 4th. So
yeah, and I just finished it a couple days ago. I was a little bit later than everybody else, but I loved it. I thought it was a great season. So folks out there, if you haven't seen Stranger Things 3, of course, watch 1 and 2 first.
Yeah.
But if you've already seen those and you're just kind of waiting around for 3, please do yourself a favor. Watch it.
Highly recommend.
Very, very good. And actually, next week we're going to talk about Stranger Things 3 in detail for a Stranger Things 3 episode. That's right, and that's going to be it at least for another year or so until the new season comes out.
Nice.
Which it's pretty much confirmed it's going to happen, right?
Oh yeah, yes. Stay after the credits. Just don't say anymore.
That's right. That's right.
Make sure you stay.
Yeah. So, do you have anything else you've been watching you'd like to tell the people about?
Yeah, man. I was talking, to both you guys. I'm starting to get into anime a little bit more, and you guys are a little bit behind on that. But
yeah.
There's this one that my buddy suggests is called My Hero Academia, and man, it's awesome. There's 3 seasons on Hulu right now, so anybody that has Hulu can watch it, and it's pretty much in this world where 80% of the population is born with some type of superpower. So it's either like he can like excrete nitrogen from his arms, and he has the power to like cast like explosions, and like the main hero is called All Might, and he's just like this all powerful symbol of hope. And the main character is Deku, and he was born, he was like All Might was his everything, and he finds out he doesn't have any powers. So he's like the small percentage that doesn't have any powers at all. And then he runs into All Might and finds out he wasn't born with powers either. He passes it on, and he chooses Deku, just really a nobody in like the spectrum of the world at the time, and he's given that power, but it's too much for his body. So he has to learn to like control it. So every time he slings it, like it's like an all powerful hit, but he like sacrifices his arm. So it's just a really cool underdog story about, powers, which is, cool as always anyway. So it's definitely something to check out. It's a great anime to start out with.
Yeah, sounds really interesting. Yeah.
Very fun. It's definitely made me like love Deku. He's my boy.
And you know what that means? That means it's time for the nerd news. And we have just a couple of things to talk about. Nothing too crazy this week, not yet.
Nothing's blown up this week. So.
But I bet next week we'll have a lot because San Diego Comic-Con is happening before we record our next episode.
Yep.
So there'll probably be tons of stuff to talk about then. But for now, we're going to keep it pretty simple. If you remember a couple weeks ago, I guess it was our Stranger Things 1, maybe 2 episode. I can't remember. But I talked about how much I wanted Millie Bobby Brown to be a part of the MCU. Do you remember me saying this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
So announced this week, she is set to take a leading role of some sort in Marvel's Eternals movie.
That's nice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know a whole lot about the Eternals.
I'm not
Medusa, I think, is one of them, right?
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with it either, but as long as, Millie's in the MCU, I'm happy with that.
Oh, yeah. And she'll do a great job, I'm sure, no matter what part she has.
Yeah, she's great. She's, like y'all been saying the past couple of weeks, like, I feel like she would be the one that survived the curse of the child star and, like, be something really good.
I certainly hope so.
And then another nerd news, Mortal Kombat is coming out in 2021, so that's a remake for Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation. And the director was saying that Fatalities is confirmed to be in it as well.
First time ever.
First time ever.
Because in the other two movies, they were like PG-13.
Yeah, they were. It was pretty clean for the most part for like a Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I mean, if you are a fan of the games or know anything about them, you know that those games are brutal. I mean, I can't even play that game around Becky with the sound on, because when you do the X-ray moves and like you crush their bones and break things and stuff, all the noise and all that, it drives Becky crazy. So I can't even play it around her. So it's very violent, right?
Yes, it is confirmed too that it's going to be rated R,
which it needs to be, because the games are rated mature, which is
exactly what they should be.
The same thing, right?
Yeah, it's very very graphic in the body sense, just like the fatalities. And
it's stuff like freezing somebody, ripping their head off, and throwing it through their body. That type of thing happens in the game. So expect to see something like that in the movie.
It could be crazy.
Yeah. And the last bit of news that we have here, kind of a celebration of sorts. Spider-Man is #1 in the world right now, and it has reached $800 million in the box office.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
That's not, too awfully far behind Endgame.
Yeah,
there's a chance.
It's so good too, though. Like, if you haven't seen it, that's one definitely to check out.
Yeah, there's a chance that Spider-Man's gonna really, really, really break some records here. Now, it's not going to beat Endgame, but
just especially after that, to have a movie back to back do so well, that's just
genius.
Testament to you saying details.
Yes,
the details.
Yes. That is a victory right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's true though. I can't be mad at Spider-Man. It's like, I know he's your guy, but I think in the same sense or same breath, he's my guy too, because
he's the best.
He's awesome.
Dirty Pop.
Yo.
Sick and tired of hearing all these people talk about what's the deal with this pop life and when is it gonna fade out?
What's the deal with this pop life? When is it gonna fade out? We'll answer all those questions and more when we on Pops. So, Logan, this is something we both love.
Yeah.
We talk about Pops just about every single day. What are Pops?
Pops are collectibles. Pops are little replicas of either your fiction, non-fiction. So it ranges literally, I think, like pretty much everything Pops take care of. It's like shows, movies, comic books, animes, real life, presidents, famous people. Like anything that you are interested in, nerd or otherwise, he probably got you covered.
Yeah, basically. I mean, one thing that's so great about Pops is that they're great gifts, because if someone really loves a famous person or character or whatever, you can get them a little person, even if they're not into collecting and stuff. That'll mean something to them because they love that character.
It's like, hey, I used to love Britney Spears a lot in the 90s. We've got you covered.
Yeah, she's got at least one where she's got the snake over her shoulders.
That was this year, and
I think there was a Oops, I Did It Again too.
Yeah.
But like, for example, my mom used to really love Dale Earnhardt. Her birthday's coming up. I could get my mom a Dale Earnhardt pop, and she knows that I collect them, so she'd get that part of it. But she'd love it because it's Dale Earnhardt.
3 to the sky.
3 to the sky.
Yeah.
So why do people love them so much, other than the fact that they're great gifts?
Man, it's I think, like you said, gifts cover a lot, and for just as a collector in general, I think the thrill of the hunt for, like, once you get past the these things are kind of cool, and you see that, hey, they have actual lines of these. So you can have like 1 through 6 or 1 through 7, or hey, they've got the Avengers, and it's like you get to a point where you're like, okay, I need this set, I need this specific one, and then he's like, that's the thing you have to get. So just even just like with comic books or whatever, if you are searching for something for a long time and then you finally get it, that's a pretty sweet feeling.
Yeah, the hunt is a lot of fun, and we're going to talk a little later about how we spent most of the day just going around Atlanta hunting for pops, and we had a great time.
Oh, yeah.
And we didn't even really, buy a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, we only had a few, like, on the hit list, but I think I walked out of there with, like, 2 things. You walked out with one.
Just one today.
Yeah, just one. So we pretty proud of us today.
Yeah.
That wasn't, a big hit to the old
It was a good day. It was a good day. So let's get into some specific things about pops, because even if people already know, what we're talking about, they may not know what these little stickers on the boxes mean, or all those things. So let's start out with probably the best ones. Chase. So some pops, they'll have a little sticker on it. They're usually
like
yellow.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're black with white writing, but it'll say Chase on it. And Chase means pretty much literally it's a chase to get it. People are chasing for that pop. It's a rare pop.
Yeah.
Typically like one
it's a different variant of like what the original is. So it's just like with the Riddler we were talking about today. His basic one is, him showing the red hair. The Chase is the one with the Riddler hat on top.
Yeah, it can be as simple as a different outfit, a different colored T-shirt. There's been Chase Sheldon's from The Big Bang Theory where he's wearing a different shirt. For example, today we saw one that, I was really eyeing for a minute there. There's a wrestler from the early 90s named Razor Ramon, Scott Hall. So there's a pop of him in his Razor Ramon, get up. But there's also a Chase version of that where he's wearing different attire, a different costume that he actually wore later in the 90s when he went by a different name and was a different personality and everything. Yeah. So that's what a Chase is, and they're typically a lot more valuable. It's like 1 in 6 versions of the pop are Chases.
So even if it's like more exclusive, like down to 4,000 or so the Chases would be super important to have for your collection.
Right. So next would be exclusives. Now, you'll see a sticker in the bottom where the Chase sticker would be. It'll say like only at Target or only at Walmart or FYE or whatever. And that just means that those pops are exclusive to that store.
To that store or Comic-Con or
an event. San Diego Comic-Con is going to have a lot. Certain websites. Barnes & Noble has a lot of exclusives. GameStop. Pretty much anywhere you can think of.
Or as we learned, Second Charles exclusives today.
Okay. So there's this place called Second Charles that I'd never even heard of until Logan here told me about it. And we went in there, and I guess they're either partnered with
Barnes and Noble
or something, because they
literally just stock their throwaway bin and just get all their stuff.
They put a sticker over the original sticker.
They didn't even take off the original
Second
sticker.
Charles exclusive. And I was like, really? I didn't know that they had exclusives, but it definitely was not.
No, it's Barnes and Noble sticker, and then a Second Charles sticker.
Yeah,
exactly over it. So
you can't fool us, Second Charles. Another common pop that you might see out there is flocked.
Yeah. So that gives it a texture to make it feel like it's either fur or like hair. Usually it's in like people with fur or like animals, like the Lion King pops are hugely like flocked and stuff because it's like,
I tend to see a lot of the flocked pops at Box Lunch.
Oh, yeah.
They have a lot of those in there.
Yeah, they had a bunch today.
Yeah, and there's a few in Hot Topic. So, yeah, it just kind of feels
I was
furry.
thinking about Scooby-Doo today. So they have a flocked one of that, which makes it a little bit more valuable as well.
Yeah.
So, like, the original doesn't bring
if it doesn't have a sticker on it, it's just a common pop, which means more than likely it's not very valuable. It doesn't trade for a lot or anything like that. So, but there are some that are older.
Some pop up and which is probably what we'll talk about in a little bit. Is the Funko app tells you like your value of it.
Exactly.
So that's pretty much what a collector does too. Like even if you like an art or something, the value, to you and to others is important to your collection.
They also make special pops that are bronze or chrome. It's like the whole entire bobblehead is just a little bronze figurine, but you can still make out who it is, of course, and everything. And some of those have been really popular. There's some chrome Batmans, and they're coming out with chrome Star Wars. They have golden Star Wars figures right now.
Yeah, which we knew there was blue chrome that come out earlier this year, and it's super expensive.
The blue ones are very, very valuable. They're they were from a convention, I think.
And
super rare.
We were talking about the Vader one today, and what was it, 100 something?
150, I think.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's
I was like,
insane.
yeah, I would probably get the Vader chromes, and it's like the first one you look at, you're like, oh, 150.
So if you get a set of those blue chrome Star Wars Funko Pops, you've got a small fortune on your hands, so hang on to them. They also make glow-in-the-dark pops.
Those are super cool as well.
Very cool. They don't really work very well all the time.
Yeah, you have to, like you were saying earlier today, like they suggest like one of those handheld black lights to like charge it up, but usually with the glows you kind of have to dreaded take out of the box for it to, fully affect it. So like if you do keep it, if you're a big person on keeping it in the box, you might get a good glow, you might not.
And that's me. So there's the other thing about pops, like some people take them out of the box and set them on their desk and they enjoy them or whatever. Yeah, and that makes me crazy because as a collector, I want everything to be in the box. I want it to be mint, and I want to display it somewhere on a shelf where nobody's going to touch it.
Isn't there a sickness for that? What is that called?
You mean OCD?
Ah, yes, that one.
That's me. But I will tell you, I bet you didn't know this. The first pop that I ever got was a Amazing Spider-Man 2 pop. And this is before I knew what they were.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Spider-Man, I'm going to put him on my desk at school. And I opened it up.
Cracked
and
it open.
And that's the only one that I've ever unboxed. Apart from a couple that I got Becky, and she didn't really care about them, so the boxes are trash. Yeah. So we took those out. But
yeah, that's important. That's important to some.
I mean, truly, like some people will... I saw a pop today on our hunt. It was a Spider-Man stealth suit from Far From Home, and it was a Target exclusive.
Yeah.
And so there's already a pop of Spider-Man in the stealth suit, but the one small little difference is that the pieces on his eyes are removed, so you can see Peter's eyes behind the mask.
Yeah, he flips up the old
Very
goggles.
small difference, but it's a Target exclusive, which means it's very, It's more valuable, we'll say. So we saw one at Target today, and it was the only one they had. And I was like, yes, success, victory. I reached for it, and the box is in not the best shape. You know
it
what?
looks like somebody spiked it on the ground.
I put it back. I didn't leave with it. And unfortunately, that was the only one there was. But I don't regret my decision because I can't have a bad box.
You'd always be thinking about that box in your collection, and you can't do it.
It would bother me forever. So I can't do it. So not only do they make just a little single figure, bobbleheads, but they also do scenes from movies, movie moments.
Oh yeah,
lots of things. The most movie moments that I have are Star Wars. Like I've got one of it's Luke and Darth Vader in Cloud City during the "I Am Your Father" thing. Mm-hmm. I've got that, and a couple Marvel things. I've got Hulk smashing Loki from the
Puny God.
Exactly, from the first Avengers movie, and that's a Walgreens exclusive. And Walgreens has really good exclusive pops.
I do. I need 2 of those for my collection, but
the problem with the good Walgreens pops is they're so hard to find.
Yeah.
The people go out there and buy them to sell them.
The bots.
And they're really hard to get.
Yeah, they are. And I don't know about you, but Walgreens, I have zero luck at.
Never
ever.
any luck.
Yeah.
Sometimes online, if you're lucky, you can get a couple guns. Like you got us the Spirit Spider.
Yeah.
That was a Walgreens exclusive, also glow in the dark, I believe.
Yeah, that was
you were able to snag 2 of those, and I got one of those.
Yeah.
So, but sometimes you have to wait for the flippers to put them online, and you got to pay the price.
It is intense when you have to wait for that. Oh, it releases at 12 o'clock or 2 o'clock, and you're just sitting there refreshing, refresh. And you got to jump on some things because there's limited edition, and these people literally buy it out in minutes.
Exactly.
So if you don't load it up right at like the spot it's at, you're done. You don't get it.
not only do they make movie moments, but they also make pops called rides, and it's basically like if there's a famous car with a driver, or they
like we saw today in Supernatural. It was a Sam variant because we know that's Dean's baby, but it was a flip where Sam was in it, and I was like, oof.
Yeah, so Sam in the car and
baby,
and it was a chase. So
that
was going for $60.
Yeah,
I don't know what the value was on that. We didn't look it up.
We didn't,
but yeah. There was only one there too, so may
and
not be there long.
they're coming out recently this year with Pop Towns. So I know it had a SpongeBob Pop Town where he comes with the pineapple. You have the house in Ghostbusters, and you have coming out later this year the Scooby Doo, and it's like Scooby Doo, Where Are You Castle, like the very first one. So I'm probably definitely.
What they need to do is a Pop Town of Bag In from Lord of the Rings, like have Bilbo and Gandalf sitting out on the bench with their pipes and have the Hobbit house.
I want a pop ride. I want Gandalf when he comes in the wagon, the horse and wagon.
Yes,
that'd be cool.
Hey, we need to email
Maybe
Funko
fireworks over it.
Right?
That'd be cool.
So each Funko that you get, up in the top right corner of the box, there's a little number. Tell us about the number.
So the number, you have different movies, or like we'll just, since we're pretty Marvel heavy here, like you would see like Marvel 1 or Marvel 512, it would be in that lineup of the wave how you know where they go. So it would be like Wolverine number 1, and that was the first mold in that line, like where they had made a specific set of like X-Men or like the Avengers or however. So it's the top right. You could have like 3 versions like we were talking about at Britney. So it would be like Britney 83 or Britney like 72, and you would have to specifically look for that number to get your right pop.
Exactly. So we have a special guest on the show.
Boy.
Surprise from Cash.
Hey, buddy.
Cash, do you want to say hello?
Say hey. Say hey in here.
Say hey.
Say hey. Say it in here.
Yes. So we want to get Cash's opinion on pops.
Oh man. So here we have a Panda Team Leader that I'm trying to custom.
Panda Team Leader.
And that is from Fortnite.
Okay.
What is this? Do you know what this is?
A werewolf.
A werewolf? No, this is a panda bear.
A panda bear?
Yeah, a panda bear.
Yeah.
Should we open it? Oh no, Uncle Josh, we're opening it.
That's okay. It's Fortnite. I don't care.
Yeah, that's fine. Wow, what do you see in there? What is it?
No.
Is that a fun toy?
Oh no, he's like you.
Okay.
Look.
So Cash passes the test. Cash is trying to put the toy back in the box because he knows that it loses its value exponentially when you take. Oh no, he took it right back
He
out.
said, "What are you doing, Dad? The value,
Man.
you ruined it."
Yeah.
Say it's a bear.
That was fun.
Oh yeah, man, he's awesome.
Kids are fun. So let's talk about our day today. We left, according to your wife, we left at about 11:45.
Yeah,
We
start
got-
our adventure.
We got home at
Probably,
6-ish, right?
Yeah, so it was a good day.
We
Day
decided
of hunting.
to go on a hunt. You discovered like a little route that you wanted to take me on.
It's about an hour out. It's called Kennesaw, Georgia. So that's probably about an hour from us. But me and my buddy went there a couple weeks ago, and it was just like has literally everything in that route. So like we're talking about exclusives. You can go to Hot Topic there. You can go to GameStop. You have Box Lunch. You have Think Geek. You have Toy Chest. There's this comic book store that we went to at first, Still Collectibles. So
Best stop of the day.
Oh yeah, I told you it probably would be.
Yeah.
Because it's so good, man.
They had very reasonable prices, and that's where I saw I was talking about Razor Ramon earlier. They had him there for like $20, and his value is at like 30. So I sat there and held that Razor Ramon for a minute. I was like,
Yeah. So which was like if you go like the Toy Chest is pretty much like that, but it's retail. So it's like that was a completely different experience where they had things that we wanted, but were probably about 25% too high.
Yeah. So what exactly were we looking for today? Because both of us are past the point, me especially, of like, oh, I like this pop, I'm going to get it. Like, we're looking for certain ones now.
Yeah, it's hard to just say that's a cool one. Let's just get it because it adds up after a while.
Yeah, I learned that.
Yeah.
So I started out
Easy.
like, oh, I like this one. Ooh, I like this one too. Because there's so many characters and different
Exactly.
fandoms that I love so much. It's like I have to have all of them.
Whatever you're into, literally there is a pop for it.
Any
Literally.
type of celebrity, musician, athlete, anything.
Yeah. So I had 3 things specifically I was going after today. The which I think y'all mentioned it before on the pod, which is Deceased is a new comic book that DC has released, and I was looking for number 1 of that because my comic book shop up here had number 2 and 3. So I was looking for number 1 of Deceased. The second thing I was looking for is the Spider Carnage that you were telling me about. We were talking about it was an exclusive. I forgot what was the exclusive that you had.
It's like AAA convention exclusive or something like that.
Yeah, it's a cool one. If you haven't seen it, definitely look that up because they do mashups sometimes of like
AAA anime exclusive.
Yeah. So they do mashups and put like different heroes and villains and stuff together, and that's one of my favorite styles. So I was looking for that, and the Wonder Woman Jim Lee GameStop exclusive because I collect all the Jim Lee line, and I actually found all 3, which I thought I was going to be 2 for 3, but you told me your guys that you're connecting with. What was that again? What was that name?
Tall Man Toys and Comics in Knoxville. Yes. They're going to hook us up with one of those for you.
Yeah, so you just had to use your 30 nerdy power and say, hey, get me one of these.
Pulled a few strings.
Locked it down, and it was 20. So we saw it for, 35 at the toy chest, and I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
That's
we picked up so many things today and looked at them, and we're like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
And did we talk about going to Target yet? Have I already mentioned this?
You did, yeah.
I did. The Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Man, the Target exclusive Spider-Man. It's like it was right there, but I couldn't do it. Which is
kind of rare too, because they release like maybe 5 or 6 things that are specifically like a wave of Target exclusives. And so if it doesn't get sold, it goes on the shelves, and then that's first come, first serve. So
at the end of the day, how did your hunt go?
It was awesome, man. I got to show you around my little loop, and I was 3 for 3 of the hunts, which like you said, I wanted the Sam with baby Chase from Supernatural, which is the Glow, and I've seen a few things. I was like beating in my head all day, don't start a new line, because I like the horror pops, like with the Friday the 13th and Freddy and Michael Myers, and I was like, just don't get it, just don't start it, because then you'll have to
complete it. So what he means by that is, like we were saying, instead of just saying, oh, I really like, Freddy or Jason or whatever, it's like if I get one, I have to get the whole set, and that's the problem that I've run into now. Yeah. I have so many random ones that I don't really want, so I need to get rid of them. And now I'm strictly collecting like Marvel and wrestling.
That's
and Star
Wars. That's a good idea if you're hopping into this. If this is like your, over the edge for your collecting, pick one set and then see how that feels after you collect it, and then like just test the waters, because if you get all over the place and then get into it and you have 3 of this line, 2 of this line, 3 of this line, and you're like, I gotta get everything.
Yeah.
And it's like
that's what happened to me, man. That's why I have like I would say I have close to 300 pops, guys. I have a serious problem.
Yeah, you've been in the game a lot longer than
I
me.
have been. That's true. To be fair, I've been going hard since like 2013 or 14. So I have a lot. Yeah, you're right. So let's talk a little about the pop community. So we talked about, as hunters, what our day was like, certain things we're looking for. And there's a lot of people out there hunting for pops. We saw all kinds of people shopping around for pops. But you can also trade. So there's lots of Facebook groups that you can join where, some groups you are allowed to put stuff up for sale, but some only allow you to trade. Yeah,
it just depends. There's a lot of good groups in Georgia that's actually got me like a lot of hookups with because I collect exclusively like Venom and Venom like mixes, like we were talking about, like Venomized Captain America, Venomized like Black Panther and stuff like that.
Iron Man.
Yeah, so you can go on these groups and be like, hey, does anybody have da 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 da? and they'll be like, yeah, I've got it for this, and you can, bundle it up with this for shipping and stuff like that. So once you find some good people, it kind of makes it easier to find some old things, because you're not going to find something that was released 10 years ago just in a random Target,
Right,
so you'll have to,
exactly.
you've got to make those connections, or you just won't get what you need.
And just because it came out 10 years ago doesn't mean it's necessarily more valuable. Like he said, you can't find it because it's so old. That doesn't mean it's worth a lot more always, because I have some that are from pretty early on in the pop line of toys.
Or are you mad at like a $6, the golden...
Yeah, my golden Jack Sparrow from Hot Topic. So there's an app that you can get. It's just the Funko app.
Yeah.
And you can scan the barcode on the bottom of your Pops, and it'll come up on the app and tell you, like, when it came out, where it's from, how much it's worth.
Yeah.
So that app tracks all of the value of your whole collection. And so this golden Jack Sparrow that I have, that I thought was going to be some great thing, its value is like, what did I say, $6.
$6, yeah.
So... unless I can trade that
not
one for
all
something.
that glitters is gold.
That's exactly right. That's exactly how it works. So let's talk a little bit about customs. So some people, much to my chagrin, like to take their Pops and tear them apart. Tell me a little about that.
So I like to play, Dr. Frankenstein a little bit, just with the Pops. It's something that I've done recently, so like not even a year ago, that you can pretty much just repaint, which is like, just a recolor of a custom. Like if you have, a Hulk, for example, that you want to do like Red Hulk, then you get like the red acrylic paints, get some paintbrushes and go at it. Or you can pretty much take the bodies off of one Pop, and you're like, well, that's like a cool suit. I wonder what Iron Man's head will look like in this like clean suit.
Right.
So you have to, kind of use your imagination to piece together like what you want.
And I would say that it's getting a little bit more difficult for people who do customs, because Funko is so smart about releasing anything you can think of. Like, if there is any moment from any of the Marvel movies where a character is doing a certain thing or looking a certain way, like, they've got a Pop of it.
Yeah, like, they don't have this. Like, everybody was like, when Cap picked up the hammer and had the broken shield, everybody's like, bro, we got to make this. It's not here, so we have to like break down Thor's and Cap's and make this crazy monster looking like what he did in the movie. And then the Marvel box you've got, and it's what is it, like a $30 a month thing? And
yeah, I was going to talk about that too. So there, another way that you get really exclusive Pops is there are like these mystery themed boxes that you can subscribe to. There's a Marvel Collector Core box. There used to be
which
a
have
DC
a lot
one.
of really cool ones. Marvels.
Oh yeah. Most of the time, they're really good. There's a Smuggler's Bounty, that's Star Wars, and I get that one now and then. I just got one like last week. It came with a silver chrome Darth Vader.
Oh yeah, that was so clean.
That was sick.
Ugh,
so
I'm
I'm
jealous
glad for that.
Like, my birthday's coming up in December, I think. Right?
You think your birthday's in December? Because I know that your birthday's in December.
So it's maybe. You don't need that many Darth Vaders anyway.
You don't know how many Darth Vaders I have. You just back up, buddy.
Just say it. I like Vader.
The next Smuggler's Bounty, the Star Wars box, is going to be pod racing, so I unsubscribe for that one.
No,
I'm not interested in that.
Come on.
So, but I got some good stuff from those boxes.
Plus, I pretty much hounded you for like a year about the Venom on the Marvel box, and so sometimes the boxes get sold out quick, so there's only a certain amount of subscriptions that you can have. So, like, people buy these up real quick, and then the value just skyrockets. And then I was lucky enough for the Venom to re-release, and I got it for like $30.
Yeah.
And the Pop itself is like 65, 70, so it's like I lucked up because I was trying to con you out of that for a good year. I think.
Almost got me too.
I almost did,
But
and then I like literally found it the following. I think you agreed to it, and then I found that like the following week. I was like, "Bro, guess what popped up?"
It's okay. I got to
probably
keep
like,
them. So let's talk a little bit about our own collection. We've touched on it a little bit. What are some favorite Pops that you currently own?
So, like I said, I'm like a big fan of Venom and Spider-Man. So I pretty much, other than like some weird like Pops, I'm like like you said, like, oh, it looks cool, and I grab it and I'm like, I should have done that, but I buy them anyway, and you don't really regret it, but at the time you're like, I didn't really need that. But Venom is like my big go-to, Venom and Carnage. So I love all the Carnage that I have because he has like a couple different variants of like his blade arms, his like faceless, his original. And so the blue Venom from the Marvel is one of my favorites because my buddy actually traded a Super Saiyan God Goku for. So that's like a cool thing. It kind of reminds you of like Pokemon back in the day where you're like, bro, I got this Charizard. You have, like a Mewtwo or something.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, it's that like nostalgia feel too. So we traded, finally got my blue Venom, and then the Marvel Corp Venom. He just looks so cool. Like he's got the jump action with the like green slime on the tongue, and it's like, that one's so cool because that, as like if you haven't collected it before, like beforehand, they look kind of like plain, but I mean, it has like the cool nostalgia factor, but as they've progressed, they put more detail into these pops.
The first pops were in 2012.
Yeah.
So if you go back and look, like the first ones they did were DC stuff. So they did like the
Bat-
Penguin, Riddler, Batman,
like
stuff like
60
that.
of Batman.
And they look like at the time they were pretty cool. I
Yeah.
guess like people would say, "Oh, it's really
But
cute."
like looking back on them, they're
It's
like,
no, they're not so good because
they
now
just,
they've
now
gone,
you can see they're just recolored. Now you
Yeah.
know about different molds and like how they put different detail sets
they've
on
stepped
them.
it up
They
because
have.
they're a lot more detailed.
Like we
They're-
were talking about the towns and the rides.
rides.
So it's
Exactly.
got, even we were
Movie
talking, we
moments.
were discussing the other day, Solo and the Millennium Falcon. Remember they had the ride? It's like literally a full scale like
Yeah.
Millennium Falcon.
They've got Chewbacca in the ATST from Return of the Jedi. So it's like anything you can think of,
Literally.
there's probably a pop for it, really. Like, they make great gifts. Somebody got me a Hopper pop the other day for my birthday.
And they have what is it? The Steve with the Lucille cracking the Demogorgon.
Yeah.
Yep.
The-
The Demodog.
Truly anything you can think of.
Yeah.
Some of my favorites I have an entire line of Walmart released these chrome Thanos
Yeah.
pops, and there's a different color for each Infinity Stone. So I
Yeah.
have all 6 of those, and I'm proud of that.
I probably aggravate the absolute crap out of you, but like I feel like I take pictures of everything I see too. I'm like literally think about you every time I'm walking in.
Yeah.
Somebody I'm like, ooh Marvel, ooh Marvel, ooh Marvel, da da da, and you probably have like.
And half the time I'm like, I got that one.
Yeah.
I got that one. I got that one.
I don't need to stop sending me pictures. That's like 50 deep.
No, I enjoy it though. I also have. Here's another one that you are, licking your little.
I know. I
chops
got
for,
like a ton of them that you tell me. I'm
I
like,
have Ric Flair.
oh yeah.
With his blazer and he's got his championship belt over his shoulder and his sunglasses. He's wearing his Rolex.
oh,
It's
when he was
fly, baby.
styling,
So
profiling.
this came with the like deluxe package for the video game that came out last year. And every year I'm like, oh, I'm not going to buy the wrestling game this year. I'm not going to
Yeah.
buy it. And then they said, oh, we're going to include this big Ric Flair package. It came with a piece of his robe, a replica of his ring.
We were talking
and a
about
pop.
this, like, even if you're not a fan of wrestling modern times, the games always reel you in with, like, super cool, like, some type of reward.
Yeah.
And you're like, I can't pass up on, like, Sting DLC and, like, the picture, and, like, I can't pass up on
It's exactly what happened
Ric
to me.
Flair pop
Like,
replica
I'm definitely
with
not getting the
glasses
game.
and
And the
championship
moment
belt.
they show me that Ric Flair
Yeah,
pop,
I
I'm
know.
like, okay, done.
You're like,
And with the day I was telling you this earlier, the day I went to pick my copy of the game up,
yeah.
the manager at GameStop, he's kind of a buddy of mine. He was like, "How attached are you to this Ric Flair pop?" And I was like, "Very attached. That's like the whole reason I'm getting it." Why do you
I
ask?
think I bought it for the game.
He wanted to buy it from me, and I was like, "No, you're you're looking
I was
at the
telling
wrong
you
one."
too, like they have like Christmas releases and stuff like that. Literally online, they had it for half off. So that like $120, pre-order was for $60. And I was like, bro, I got to get this, right? I got to. And like I told you today, I'm like the worst procrastinator of these pops ever. I'll like circle around it like a shark for like months, and I'll go and it's gone. It's too late. They're sold out.
Should have pulled that
Should
trigger.
have pulled the trigger. That was regrets. Not even. I don't know. That was one. That was definitely this past year's biggest regret, not pulling the trigger on that.
I'm also collecting for the 10-year anniversary of the MCU. They released a line of golden pops. So it's golden chrome of, Ant-Man, Captain America, Hulk, Iron Man, all those guys. There's like 3 or 4 that I'm missing that I haven't picked up yet.
Which we've seen a lot of them today.
We saw a lot of them, but I didn't get them because most of them are fairly common, and I can probably get them.
That's what you got to look for, too. Like, always look for, even online, the deals. The 3
Absolutely.
for 25s, the 2, and get the 3rd free. That's how you beef it up.
What are some pops that you don't have that you really want?
Like I said, the Venoms and Carnages is the one I collect the most. I do have one of the old school Venoms and Carnages left. I think it's like the Marvel 52 Venom and then the Carnage 96. Just like their original, like we were talking about, kind of simple design, but we saw both of them today in that toy store, but it was super expensive, so I would have had to pay like $20 more than you would usually. But and a lot of the we were talking about the Spider-Man villains. I want a lot of those too. So that's probably my bigger ones. I want like Rhino, and there's a whole bunch of like Hobgoblins and Green Goblin, like the Green Goblin Metallic. I think it's like 125, 130. I probably would never pull the trigger on that one, but
right.
I'm
in the same boat as you on that. I also really want to get. I try to collect just Star Wars, just wrestling, Marvel, and Lord of the Rings. So I'm missing
and Big Bang Theory and Game of Thrones. And
I have 3 Game of Thrones pops, and I'm gonna
Potter
part
pulling
with
the trigger. Confirmed.
I have not. I don't have a single Harry Potter pop because I know that when I get one, I'm gonna be like, oh, I have to have them all.
That's what we were talking about today. It's like
if I only get the characters from Harry Potter that I love, I would have all of them.
We need the mindset of like, we take this beautiful thing that's had an impact on our life and pick the one like thing that we like the best from it. Well, you can't do that. There's so many parts.
I'm missing about 4 pops from completing my entire Lord of the Rings line. I'm missing the glow-in-the-dark Balrog. I'm missing a Chase Gollum.
We talked about that. There's like 4 different
There's
variants.
3 or 4 different Gollums. Yeah. I'm missing the Witch King on the Fell Beast. He's like riding a dragon. But that won't be hard to get.
Yeah, we're talking Barnes & Noble. You're talking about the 3 for 25. That'd be a good one.
And then I'm also missing the Twilight Ringwraith from Hot Topic. So after that, I'm completely done with Lord of the Rings. Oh, no, there's another one too. There's a 2-pack they did of Arwen and Aragorn, and that one's like really expensive and really rare.
I sent you a picture of it the other day. You
I
didn't pull the trigger.
It was more than I was gonna pay for it, though. I think.
True.
So we've decided to do something fun here. We've got a list of 10 of the most valuable pops that are out there. We have a list of 10. I don't think they're in necessarily any particular order. And these are from mentalfloss.com, whatever that means. So I don't know how accurate this is because I don't know much about this website. But some of these I can confirm because I have seen them out and about. I've seen them on the Funko app. So we're going to just run through the 10 most valuable pops according to mentalfloss.com. Number 10. Logan.
It's Planet Vegeta. It goes for $17.40, and one eBay bidder recently landed Vegeta for $2,000.
$2,000 for a Dragon Ball Z bobblehead, folks. That shows you how serious some people are about this. So even better, check this out: Clown Dumbo. Okay, this one it's the reason it's so expensive is because there are only 48 of these were made. They are made for the San Diego Comic-Con a couple of years ago.
San Diego.
And this one is worth $5,270. And recently, a pop with a little bit of damage on the package, which is a big deal, someone still paid $3,551 on eBay for this pop. Unbelievable.
That's crazy. And number 8, a 1970s Elvis Presley glow in the dark is worth $1,580. Yeah, that's nuts. And it says The chase figure of this variant, the 1950s, will run you as much as $18.20.
Wow.
And I'm assuming his the diamonds, the sparkles on his cape and suit glow. That'd be pretty cool, though.
Maybe his whole suit, because it's the white suit. You can see, like, he's got the white suit and he's got the red cape. He's holding the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool. Number 7, a blue metallic Batman, worth about $1,050. That's a lot for a Batman, needless to say.
Ooh, and number 6, the notorious BIG metallic for 1960. And it says, in a recent eBay auction, it ended with a sales price of $2,400 for the figure. That's crazy.
Number 5, Black Ranger Freddy Funko, worth $2,420. Freddy Funko is like the mascot for the Funko company,
Yeah.
and so they'll put him in all sorts of different variants and
Literally
costumes.
everything.
Yeah. So the Pop app says that it's worth $2,420, but someone on eBay actually is asking $4,400 for it. Good luck with that. Oh, here's a good one.
Yes, number 4, Headless Ned Stark goes for 1980. R.I.P. the man. Moment of silence.
Mm-hmm.
And it says the Pop Price Guide has valued Stark at 1980. The one eBay auction climbed up to 2,600.
That's insanity.
Yeah.
Number 3, Ken Griffey Jr., a bronze Pop worth $2,550. Although some of them have sold for as much as $3,000.
Oof. That's crazy. And number 2, this might be the highest price one of the list.
This one, wow, I can
Yeah.
see it.
This is a Stan Lee Platinum Metallic Chrome and signed. So you know, like if you go to Comic-Con and get like the person that's actually who the Pop is of to sign it, it just makes the value go crazy. And it said one sold for as much as $6,100 during a recent eBay auction.
Do you have any signed Pops?
I don't. I'm kind of envious of your old Ric Flair Pop.
I have, so beyond the one we already talked about, I also have a common Ric Flair that's signed by Ric Flair. I have the teddy bear zombie from The Walking Dead. The first walker that you see in The Walking Dead, that little girl, there's a Pop of her, and I have that signed. I have a signed Squidward, signed Goofy.
But you're a
Daryl.
seasoned Comic-Con traveler.
I have been to
Where
a lot
I
of
am-
conventions. That's
I
true.
still haven't. I've only served at one. We do the Dragon Con with the food truck.
Mhm.
And I've only been on the steps. Never a guest.
Well, we're going to have to fix that. So number 1, it's holographic Darth Maul. I've actually seen this one before.
The holograms on the Star Wars, they always look so
Well,
cool.
and I didn't even talk about what I got today on the hunt. We'll get to that in a minute. So holographic Darth Maul worth $2,130. It's desirable enough that some fans will even pay $200 for a custom replica. So not the real thing, just a replica of it. $200. That's commitment right there. So today on the hunt, I picked up a holographic Qui-Gon Jinn. It was at the comic book store that we went to.
It looked so clean. Like it was just calling to you.
It was just calling my name, and I really stood there and contemplated for a long time. It's exactly what happened. And that was my only purchase of the day.
But do I need the clap, or can you add that in later?
Well, if you think about the
That's
last time that we
so
went
proud.
hunting,
You did.
I left with like 10 Pops.
You were literally buying like 5 per everywhere.
It's like, okay, I need this one, and I need this one
Well,
too.
you did get the 10-inch Hulk. I've still not bought a 10-inch.
Yeah, so they make extra large Pops, mostly Target.
Yeah.
You can get like Hedwig and Dobby, and I think there's a Demogorgon and Jack from The Incredibles. But they also
Puff
made
Man from the Ghostbusters.
right.
R.I.P.
They made one of Thor. No, not Thor. The Hulk from Thor Ragnarok. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And he's huge. And I got one at Target because it was the last one they had, and it's sitting down in the man cave. And I really want to get rid of him. He's too big. He doesn't.
So honestly, the Pops are like bricks. You can stack them and they fit
Oh,
beautifully
yeah.
together.
Yeah.
And then if you add a 6-inch or a 10-inch, then it throws
Throws everything all out of whack.
Throws everything off. You got to build a whole new dresser.
All right, so with all that being said, Logan knows it was my birthday here recently, and he's been working on something special for me.
Yeah. So I didn't really get a chance to tell anybody on here about T-Max that I made for him, but I made him a Power T armor from Fallout 4 because he likes that game just as much as I do. So I painted it like the UT, Vols, gave it to him. Really like that. Then I knew in my mind that I already had before that what I wanted you to get, but I just couldn't find the pieces. So it literally was me trying to scour the internet and just find these pieces. And I think it did pretty good.
All right, so I'm going to open this and look at it. Card says, "Welcome to the 30 and Nerdy Club." Love Papa Roach, because I am 30 now. And, okay. Wow. Guys, this is one of the best gifts that I've ever received in my life. So Logan has made for me, it's a Spider-Man pop, but Spider-Man's head has been replaced with Stan Lee, and he has on sunglasses. Where are these sunglasses from?
That is from the 2-pack with Captain Marvel and Chun-Li. So I took her glasses off and removed Stan's head from his superhero body, and then the Gameverse Spider-Man put the body on with that. And the custom box there. This
is amazing.
With the hard case.
So it's in a hard case, which is really nice. And it's a custom box. It's got the picture on the side of what the pop is. And I'll definitely share some pictures of it. This is amazing, Logan. Thank you so much for this. Man. I'm really excited about this. So this will go in a very special place in the
fortress. I told you when I was working on it, I was like, I think I might just keep this and make you another one, bro. Make you something else.
Well, you keep the second one because after you've had a chance to practice on this first one,
it's so beautiful.
Maybe the second one will be even better because this one is mine, and nobody's ever going to take this away from me. So with that, I think that's all on our discussion on pops.
Yeah,
and
nice.
It's your first time on the show live.
I felt it went pretty smooth.
It was pretty good.
Other than the run in, little boy run in, but he was cute.
Well,
I think we'll get points for that.
He's always welcome on the show. Cash is always he's got the open invite anytime he wants to be on. So that's it. And next week, be sure to tune in for our discussion on Stranger Things. So you've got another week to catch up on that.
You must watch this.
It's
so good.
So good. And anything else you'd like to say to the people?
Man, I'm just happy to be here. Thanks for thinking of me and trying to replace Tyler. I hope all the fans and stuff, I did a decent job.
You've done
I don't
very
think
well.
We had too much banter because we're talking about something that we agree on. So there's not much back and forth of it.
Well, when we were talking about pops that we wish that we had, I was waiting on you to say how much you really wanted a brand pop from Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeesh. Yeah.
That's a discussion for another time. Anyway, we'll see you next time, nerds. Later.